long, but it was very smooth and it was educational, and the subtitles were very good. I just like hearing his story. I think hearing firsthand his background and what he went through, because I'm 2 years younger than him. So this happened when I was in high school. I remember when I was in high school, all I was doing is studying. I don't have time to watch news. And I did a little research about the film, like The Tank Man, and how the photographers had to hide one photographer hid the film in a toilet tank. And then they had to send it out like in a box of tea to get it out of China. So I thought I've only been to China once in '97. I took a tour. So I went in '97 just for a tour for about maybe 7 or 10 days. I've been to Hong Kong many times, but I always worry. I tell my family about the exit ban, and as long as you have some relative who they want, they can just use you like a hostage. And they have had cases of Americans. You're going at the airport, and they say, "Okay,
let's go."
So I'll go to Hong Kong one more time, but that's it, because I don't have anything that I think they'll arrest me for, but you never know. So,
but how did you feel he started? What's the best part of it?
Well, I thought the whole thing was good. I liked the early history about his life, in like the more rural part, like in the farming part, and then I liked the part about when he was a student. I thought the whole, because I don't think people see the pictures of the protests and the tanks and things, but they don't know like what happened on a daily basis. And a lot of people were young, they are doing other things, they're not catching the news. So I thought it was, and then later when he went to France, I thought that was very interesting. It was a very good film, and even though it is long, it's not dull, it's got a very good flow. So I'm very happy you made it, and he's a very good speaker too. He's funny and he's straightforward, and so I'm glad that you got his message. And also the religious aspect. Some people don't like hearing about religious aspects, but that's very important. It's a part of his story.
Very courageous person. Yeah, and precocious too, because he was only 1989. He was only like 18 or 19 years old. Yeah, so he was very mature for such a young age. Yeah, and when he died, he was only like 49 or 50 years old. So that sounds mighty suspicious to me. From Thailand to Paris, did he die like mid-flight, or? Oh gosh, did they do an autopsy on his body or anything, or don't know?
Don't know. Yeah, really don't know.
Just a little background. I was a flight attendant for Pan Am from 66 to 82. And my ear blocked. And after a year and a half on medical, I couldn't go back to work. But I had travel benefits on Pan Am. So I was in Hong Kong, and Pan Am went bankrupt. I was going to have to pay my own way back. Maybe that wasn't the exact time. I ended up staying a year and a half in Hong Kong. And then I went to mainland China. So I was from 84 to 94, counting Hong Kong and China. I lived in 5 cities and had 7 different jobs.
How close you were to the gunshot?
10 minutes walk.
Did you know what was happening?
No. What I knew is that Chinese work 6 days a week. So Saturday nights, people would parade around the Second Ring Road chanting. And so that was on Saturday nights. And I was living in a little sort of guest house, hotel sort of place. As I said, 10 minutes walk from Tiananmen Square. And it was all built in kind of Chinese home styles. So, there were courtyards and each had our little things. And so I was used to on Saturday nights hearing just this roar of chanting going around. And then at
Had
2.
that been going on before the spring when the students started?
No, that was part of it.
Okay, that was okay.
I mean, I think that was the regular working
Yeah.
people kind of joining in
Yeah,
in
okay.
their way.
Yeah.
And so at 2 o'clock on June 4th, I had gone to sleep with this roar like the ocean. I woke up and it was dead silence. I had no idea what was happening, but I just knew it was such an emotional thing, and I just wanted to go knock on the doors of the other people and say, "Come out, something happened." But I thought that that can't help.
Had you, during the day before anything, walked over there and seen the students in the square?
In the very beginning,
Yeah.
in the very,
Yeah.
very beginning. However,
That silence, how it was like
it was so haunting. It was like
in the June 4th, the night.
2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, so after hearing the roar and then waking up,
That was he described in the film.
Yeah.
About 5,000 soldiers came.
Yeah.
and what I then learned is that, and this film shows how the local people and the police all were empathizing. So what the government did is they got soldiers and tanks from a faraway
Yes,
province.
they brought 'em in from outside.
Who knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
And so,
Still very emotional.
well, yeah, I mean, this was probably good for me to bring up, but I mean, there's just no words for describing what it felt like when it was dead silence. You just
'Cause
know.
you knew,
I could never have imagined, but I knew something terrible had happened. And then several months later, I was at that Museum of History right across from Tiananmen Square. And I'm walking around, and
That was the old museum, right? Before, yeah.
this was still in '89.
Yeah.
There's this huge glass case, tall, and was full of cloths with blood all over them.
Oh, dear God.
And what I want to share is, as I was standing there, I just felt this immense heat of energy, and I thought I was imagining it. So I walked away and went over to some other part and came back, and every time I passed by, there was just so much energy coming out of there. So those are my two personal experiences.
What's your name, ma'am?
Ellen Gannon,
You're a flight attendant.
for Pan Am originally, and at that time, I was a local hire working for the American Embassy, handling their staff travel.
How do Americans feel after the incident?
Well, I mean, some of the people who worked at the embassy would be there, but I just sort of felt like, I'm just here on my own, and I didn't need to go personally.
Yeah.
So I've just shared with you my two personal experiences, and that summer, there were almost no expat women there.
No.
I mean, all the wives of the people working at the embassy were sent home.
Sure.
They gave me the opportunity to have a free flight home, and I thought, if I leave China now, I may never get back here. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. So that summer, when I would be walking around Beijing, I was like this movie star. I was a foreign woman, And prior to working at the embassy, I had taught English in Beijing at the Palace Hotel, which was the Manila hotel, and I was teaching English to the staff. And so, like, that summer when I walked into the Palace Hotel, all the people came running, like, "You're still here, you're still alive." I was like this little blossom blooming in the wilderness. So, a lot of personal experience.
How did you feel when you listened to his story?
It was good for me to hear his story and understand. And also, I guess to just let all that grief come up.
Yeah, well, you didn't have the visuals, and so that was the visuals
Yes,
that
exactly.
haven't haunted you all these years. Now these visuals will haunt you.
Well, no, let's words are powerful. All this will help dissolve it
I hope so.
into the
I
earth
hope
and
so.
into the, yes.
Yeah.
It's time
It's time to
for each
heal.
of us to heal from whatever our things in, because I feel that humanity is on the brink of extinction.
Well,
And I feel like this is the time for each of us, individually and collectively, to heal and to go forward as the shining light and energy and spirit that we are.
well, then the movie did help you. Yeah.